Alright, this is going to be your review for your second test, and what we're going to do today is familiarize yourself with the periodic table. So, here's a periodic table, and going from left to right, your first group is called the alkali metals, and your second group is called the alkaline earth metals, and then you have your transition metals block, the D block, and then we have the nonmetals, the halogens, and the noble gases. Now, the noble gases, they're all stable because they have full valence shells, so they're not going to be reactive. And halogens are extremely reactive because they're only one electron away from being stable. So, since getting only one electron is very easy for them to do, they're very volatile. And then in your nonmetals, you see that there's a stair step going down the middle of them, and this is the elements along that stair step are called metalloids. And what you need to know about those is that they're great conductors because they're half metal, half non-metal. And then your F block there, the top row of those are called the lanthanides, and the bottom row is the actinides. Alright, now that you know about that, we're going to talk about the periodic trends. Now, one of the most important ones that you need to know is the atomic size, or atomic radius. And going from left to right, atomic radius is going to decrease, meaning that the ones on the left have a greater radius. And going from the top down, it increases so that the ones on the bottom have the greatest radius, which makes francium the largest atom size. We're talking about size. Alright, then the next one we're going to talk about is metallic character, and this is just how well the atoms display metallic properties. And going from the top down, metallic character increases, so that the ones on the bottom act more like metals than the ones on the top. And going from left to the right, metallic character decreases, meaning that the ones on the left display more properties than the ones on the right. Alright, and the next one is ionization energy, and ionization energy is defined as the required energy to remove an electron from another atom. So, going from left to right, ionization energy increases, and going from the top down, ionization energy decreases. So the atom with the most ionization energy is going to be fluorine. And the last one that we're going to talk about is electronegativity. And this is the ability to draw electrons. And this is also going to increase going across a period and decrease going down a group. So that fluorine is going to be your most electronegative atom. Okay, and then other things that you need to know about the periodic table is that when you go down a group, all those atoms are going to display similar properties, but when you go across a period, that does not mean that they display similar properties. That's very important to know. And we're talking about the groups on the periodic table. You can tell how many valence electrons each atom is going to have based on what group it's in. So if it's in group 1, starting with hydrogen, that's going to have 1 valence electron. And then the neighboring group, the alkaline earths, are going to have 2 valence electrons. And then you skip that whole transition block, and then you go over to the group starting with boron, which is group 3, and that's going to have 3 valence electrons. And then carbon, the group with carbon is going to have 4, nitrogen 5, and so on, until you get to the noble gases, which are going to have 8. And because they have 8 and their shell's filled, that means that they're unreactive or inert. And I believe that is it for the periodic table.